taking my MCAT. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. What's poppin'? Oh my gosh, you guys don't know how bad I wanted to say that. I have not started a vlog. Like, you guys know, if you watched my last video, that I've been vlogging on and off for the past 5 months, but I haven't started a vlog with the intentions of finishing it literally in 5 months. So this is historic. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Brelynn if it's your first time here, and today's video is going to be my MCAT vlog. So you guys are probably like, this doesn't look like the MCAT. No, it's not. Okay, I'm currently home trying to decide if I want to give you guys the full background for those of you guys who are new to my channel, but I do have an entire playlist on my channel, so you guys can watch that if you want to get a better understanding of where I'm at now, my process. And again, if you haven't watched my last video, which was the journey of me studying for the MCAT before actual today MCAT day, then definitely check that out. But today is Thursday, May 13th, and I am preparing to take my exam tomorrow, May 14th. And again, long time coming, okay? I thought my test date was going to be March. I thought it was going to be April 1st. I thought it was going to be April 24th, I think I thought it was going to be, and then I was originally going for January. So the fact that I can officially say, because there is no turning back now, that tomorrow, May 14th, is the day that I will be sitting to take the MCAT is kind of crazy to me. But overall, I still feel good. I feel ready. I'm a little bit frantic because I have a lot of things to do today in order to prepare, not necessarily for tomorrow, but for my life after MCAT, because I literally pushed this test date back to the last possible day. That way, the day afterwards, I could go on a graduation trip with some of my best friends. So I take my test on Friday. I drive down to Atlanta on Saturday. Their graduation is on Sunday. And then Tuesday, we're going to Mexico. I am not prepared, because I'm not prepared to actually enter the real world. I've been in MCAT land for so many months. So you guys see that I did get my hair done a few days ago, so I'm prepared on that end, but I do need to get my eyebrows done, my nails done, which is good. I specifically left it for this day, that way I could relax the day before my test. And all morning I've been packing, which has been kind of difficult because I need to pack for some days for Atlanta and then some days for Mexico. Oh, and not to mention, I will be competing for Miss Maryland this summer, and the first half of my paperwork is due this weekend, so it's a lot of things going on. I finished my paperwork and I printed it out, but I do have to get one piece of paper notarized. I have to pick up the copies of my pictures, so my headshots, from CVS, and I also have to mail it off. I also decided to mail off some clothes that I am returning from like my vacation shopping, and I need to meal prep. If you guys are new here, welcome. Okay, I always have a million things going on. I haven't taught you guys about it on my channel because it's been new during my MCAT studying, but I have gotten into Notion, and this is my entire test day weekend flow. I don't know if you guys can see, but I have a really long checklist of things to do before tomorrow's. I'm almost done packing. The last thing I have to do is pack my makeup, but it took way too long. I'm gonna go ahead and head out and run a few of my errands first. I don't want to run out of time before I get to go to the post office, to the bank, and then also to get my nails done. So I'm gonna head out now. Oh, I also have to get an oil change. I have to do that before I make that long drive. I need to pick up the lunch that I'm going to eat tomorrow during my test. And also I have this specific meal that I've been creating. It's like a breakfast skillet, and that's what I'm going to meal prep for my breakfast tomorrow. I was supposed to do that this morning and I just haven't gotten to it yet, and I need to do that because that's the breakfast that I'm going to eat tomorrow. That's what I've been practicing eating for breakfast, my Subway for my lunchtime, so I need to make sure both of those things are done. That was just a big mind dump for you guys. You can see that we have a lot of things to do. I definitely want this to be more focused on MCAT than like all of my lifestyle things, but I kind of wanted to update you guys because that's what I'm going to be doing today, just getting everything else. You see I said nothing about MCAT. I'm probably not going to do anything but like some Anki cards tonight. I'm going to open my laptop and review anything until I'm at my hotel later on tonight. So I will bring you guys along with me as I'm finishing out my errands for today. Let's go.
Letting you down easy, but just give it time. If it don't hurt now, but just wait a while. You're not the big fish in the pond, no more. You were what the feet didn't on. So what are you gonna do when the world don't orbit around you? So what are you gonna do when the world don't orbit around you?
Okay guys, it's later on. My eyebrows are done, my nails are done, breakfast is prepared. I went ahead and I ate a little helping of that as well because that's my first time eating today, and 2 more things left to do. I still have to pack my makeup, but that's not going to take me too long. I also have to pick up my lunch for tomorrow, which is my Subway. Let's see what time it is. Oh my gosh, I have to hurry up because Subway closes at 9. So I have to be, yeah, y'all, it's 8 o'clock. Like, this is taking me all day long. I at least have to pick up my Subway by 9 o'clock. So I have to be out of here by 9. Last big thing that I have to do here, which I've been procrastinating. I thought it would be fun to do today. Like, oh, I'll do like this arts and craft thing the day before my exam to kind of like take my mind off of things, but I had so much to do today that I didn't need to save this for today, but I want to have it done before I drive to Atlanta. So if you guys didn't know, I have my own apparel line. I didn't even mean to plug that, but I literally wear this stuff all the time. beautyandbrainsapparel.com, and I have these special custom glitter sweatshirts. This one's mine personally, and I made this one specifically that says Spelman College on it. Everybody who I'm going to go see for the upcoming graduation this year were all on my dance line in college. There were 8 of us all together and 6 of them are graduating this weekend. So I'm basically going to create little graduation gifts for them and custom make this for them here. So this is what it's going to look like. I just got these bags and then I also have some tissue paper over there. I have 6 of these to make and I don't want to spend all day doing it. I literally have less than an hour to do all of this and head out. So yeah, I'm going to do that now. Talk about how I drove to the wrong subway. I literally set an alarm for 15 minutes. I'm like, okay, Subway's literally 7 minutes away. I'll get there in time. Child, went to the wrong subway. And Subway, I don't know why they mean. I had to call this one. I was like, please keep my order. And they did it. So I'm gonna head back home, put my suitcase in the back seat. I packed everything else and pray with my mom before I head to my grandma's house and pray. And at this point, it's literally 9 p.m., 9:08. I have to call the hotel because I'm pretty sure check-in stops at 10 p.m. I'm gonna need an extension on that because I ain't gonna make it by 10, which is just so crazy. I literally expected to be there by 3 p.m. Why did I think I could get all of this done before then? I have no idea why, but all I have to do is pack my makeup. I keep saying that, but that really is. That's the last thing I have to do is pack my makeup and then pray. Thank God. Had me doing a whole drive away just for me to realize that I forgot my breakfast. I had a whole moment with my mom. We prayed, all this stuff, driving away. Child. I forgot my breakfast.
Oh my goodness.
I know. All of that. I forgot I put it in here. I'm glad I didn't get far.
I know.
And you know what I told myself when I put this in here? I said,
Don't forget.
I can see myself. And I said, I will come back the day of just to get my breakfast after all. Because that took me so long to make. But I didn't get too far.
All
Got
right.
it. This thing is heavy.
Subway.
Yes, that's in the car.
Love you too. I'm gonna tell you I love you.
Love you too. Okay.
Alrighty. Love your journey.
It feels like it. Oh goodness. This is so dramatic.
Just take your time though.
I will. Okay. I'm so glad I didn't get far. Let me do a checklist. Why didn't I write a checklist? I should have wrote a checklist. Okay. I think I have everything. I have water, water bottle, snacks, energy drink, breakfast, lunch, laptop, stuff for my hair, toiletries, clothes for tomorrow, socks, stuff for Tulum, gifts, jacket. Okay, I think we're finally ready. It feels, I don't know why this feels so like heavy, like leaving the house. I leave the house every other day to go study, but for some reason leaving the house this time, and I'm not even going to the test, I'm literally going to my hotel. It just feels so heavy. I have to stop putting so much pressure on myself and pressure on this test. I've taken millions of tests before, but I Can't lie, none like this. I'm now at my grandma's house for her pre-test prayer. Obviously, prayer is really important to me, and especially all of this prayer is necessary, okay? I need my prayer warriors to have my back. But I lost my oil. You have one sock on and one slipper on. It's okay, I'm not judging. It's your house.
Okay, don't judge me.
You can do whatever you want.
Anything trying to get out here to you.
Okay, so I finally made it to DC, and you guys are like, dang Brelynn, I know. I'm finally here. It is literally midnight. I was just about to check into my hotel. Am I going the right way? I was just about to check into my hotel, but my hotel does not have parking. I specifically chose this hotel because it is in walking distance to the testing center, so I ended up giving up the fact that it didn't have parking. I gotta check my surroundings. I made sure. Okay. But it's not that bad. It's about a block away, so I have all of my stuff in my hands. Just wanted to update you guys. I will check back in once I'm in the hotel room, do a little bit of a hotel tour, and then we'll see what we're gonna get into for the rest of the night. Since it is midnight, it is officially test day. I have what, 15 hours until test time. Oh my gosh, I don't like that. I'm not gonna do that. Whew, okay, let's check into this hotel. Guys, here is the room tour. Not too much to show. I love it. Really cute. I feel like this is like my second or third time ever staying in a hotel here in DC. Obviously, because why would I stay when I live so close? But everything that I need. So yeah, I got the king size bed. The bathroom is really cute too. I mean, first of all, yes, lighting. Oh. Really cute. So yes, that's the hotel room. I really only need the bed. But I'm gonna take me a nice shower tonight, and I'm gonna take a shower in the morning. Time to wake me up. I don't know. It's like midnight. This is so nice for my bathroom. I can see why people have this lighting in their bathroom. Like, are you kidding me? When I originally thought I was gonna get here around 4 p.m., my original plan was to walk to the testing center and to time myself. I definitely came here, but it was probably like a couple of months ago, and I drove just to see how far it was, and I was like, okay, it's just like, it's really across the street, but I just want to know exactly what time I need to leave. So I'm like, okay, I know that it takes me 10 minutes. I at least, you know, because y'all know how I get with timing, and clearly, as we see by the way that today went, I definitely need. Oh, this bed's a little hard. Okay. What a day. Oh, today has been so long, but I got everything on my to-do list that I wanted to get done. Pre-exam chat. It's already, I don't know why the time is going by so fast today. It's like time is speeding. It's 12:30. How is it 12? That clock has to be wrong. If I had to be at the garage by midnight, here we are. So yeah, I still feel good. I feel like I want to review. I want to study. Like, there's so many things that I could study. I could study review sheets. I could do some Anki. I could, you know, watch some Khan Academy videos. I could there's like so many times that I take notes and I don't go back and like look at all of my notes over again. I was thinking about that too. I was like, I should just read all of my notes over. And even though it's like very like passive learning, I'm not really trying to learn. I just want to make sure that like I see everything one last time. I don't know how helpful that's gonna be. I'm not hungry, so I'm thinking maybe I should just go to sleep and then I'll eat breakfast in the morning time like I planned, and I'll just skip dinner. This feels so much heavier because I pushed it back so many times. Like I booked my hotel and I actually had to push this hotel back. So to actually be here, it's like it's no turning back. Like it's tomorrow is kind of crazy. This feels so different than the first time I took it. Like, the first time I took it, I remember studying like a couple nights before. After I finished my Princeton review and then I had finals and stuff, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take a couple of days off. Thank God this went smoothly. Honestly, just about everything today went smoothly, which I'm just so grateful for, because even though the timing wasn't what I thought it was gonna be, I got into my hotel. The hotel is nice and clean. I think I'm gonna go for a walk, and I'm gonna walk to the testing center. Even though it's literally midnight, I'm gonna walk to the testing center just to see how far it is. And then I'm gonna come back and I'm going to originally plan on watching Legally Blonde, the musical, the night before, just because it really inspires me. But I feel like I've just been chilling all day. Like, of course I've been running around, but I haven't obviously been studying. So I would feel better if I did some type of studying than if I like literally was like, let me chillax. And I know a lot of people are like, don't study the day before, but it's the day of. So what's the rules for that? If I haven't said it, my test is at 3 p.m. Because of COVID, they're doing a 7 a.m. and a 3 p.m. test. I chose 3 p.m. and I've been practicing taking my test at 3 p.m. since January. So I definitely am gonna have a morning routine tomorrow, which I'm excited about. Oh, my back. You guys know YouTube is like my jam. I watch it all day, every day. But for the past week, I've limited my YouTube watch. I only watch it if I'm watching like sermons or something like that. Recently I had one day where I was like, okay, I'm feeling a little bit like I need some entertainment because I feel a little bit like I'm in MCAT jail. I've just been really careful about the things that are going into me, into my head, into my what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing. I feel like it helps me better control my thoughts, which in turn help me better control my words. And I'm just trying to only speak positivity over this entire experience, over this day, over this test, over everything. I just want it to be positive. I want it to be confident. I want it to be filled with God. I want it to be everything good, you know. I think that sometimes I can get so dramatic and I go to the extreme, and it may be how I'm feeling, but it's not necessarily what I should be saying, and I can't help saying it if that's what I'm thinking. So I've only been listening to gospel music, and I mean some jams have been playing like all day in the car, on my ride here, the ride to my grandma's house. So I'm feeling pretty good, and I basically just don't want to break that streak. If I need a little moment to unplug, I'll probably watch a sermon. That way something is still pouring into me. I wish I brought a freshly meal for me to eat as dinner. Let's walk to the testing center. Let's see how far we are. Let's see what the journey is going to be like. It's very chill outside, which is nice. The view here is so cute. Like, it's so cute to be like in the city, but like at a hotel. This is so different for me. Okay, so 601 New Jersey Avenue, and let's see, it took me 4 minutes to walk here. It's so quiet. I've never in my life seen DC this quiet. I guess because I'm always out in the busy part. Probably won't make it past 1 or 2 videos, but they just make me feel better. Like, sometimes I do remember some things that he says randomly when I'm taking a practice test, so who knows, maybe it'll help tomorrow, or should I say today, because it's 2 a.m. test day. I'm gonna get some sleep and I'll talk to you guys in the morning. Okay, you guys, so I have just completed my morning routine. Some of the things you guys saw, not everything, of course. Obviously, I woke up, did my prayer and devotional. Then I started just going over some of my review sheets, did some Anki cards. Then I did a quick little 15-minute workout just to get the blood flowing. Even though, if my hair wasn't straight, I would have literally went to the gym. I actually picked this hotel for many reasons, but because the gym is open, but I didn't know my hair was gonna be straight, and I literally like sweated it out. No, I'm not happy about it, but again, I just got some blood flow moving, and then I took my shower and stuff, and so now I'm about to eat breakfast. So my room does have a refrigerator, but it doesn't have a microwave. The microwave is like on another floor, so I'm gonna go there right now, warm up my food, come back, listen to a sermon while I eat that, and I'm also gonna open up my Celsius energy drink. Today's flavor is I just need Celsius to sponsor me, like, honestly. But I'm going to be drinking the sparkling wild berry. If you guys are new to my channel, these are, I mean, I feel like a lot of people talk about these. I started them in grad school. They're just healthy energy. They're not as bad as like Monsters and Red Bulls, which I used to do in undergrad. And I used to not really be into coffee, so this is like the perfect alternative for it. And it's also really good as a pre-workout. So if you work out, you can drink this before that. Again, it gives you a ton of energy. And so I'm going to be drinking half of this before my exam. And and I'll finish the other half during my 30-minute lunch break. I already packed my lunchbox over there. I think that's all I'm gonna bring. I'm gonna bring my lunchbox with this in there, and my key card, and my water bottle. And that's basically going to be it. I'm deciding if I want to bring my phone or not. I think I'm going to bring it, but then just turn it off as soon as I like get near to the building. But everything else I'm going to leave. That way that can safely and easily go into a locker. But yeah, I'm going to go and warm up my breakfast, which you guys saw me make yesterday. Again, I had it yesterday and it was delicious. I really recommend you guys trying it out, making it. It's pretty simple. My arm is getting tired. Oh, I'm not used to vlogging anymore. Oh my gosh, my arm is like burning. What the heck? But okay, let's go warm up our breakfast because I am really hungry. Guys, it is officially 2 o'clock. 1 hour until my test time, and the nerves are starting to kick in. I am officially nervous. While I was sitting here, I stopped drinking my Celsius Energy, and I knew that I had to be careful in paying attention into how much caffeine I was going to take today, because I love caffeine. I love that extra energy boost, but that, like, you already have adrenaline on the day of. I don't think it's as necessary for me to have caffeine, but I feel like I don't want to sit down after like calming myself down and then be like dozing off in the middle of passages. So I'm trying to find a balance, but right now my heart is beating really fast, feeling a little bit anxious, so I'm gonna like hold off on that. But am I anxious because time is getting closer, or is my heart beating fast because I just drank an energy drink, and so clearly my mind is like, no, you're nervous because of the test. I'm not really sure which one it is. I do also feel nervous, so I'm like literally going over notes now. I know that I really shouldn't be doing this, but it just gives me peace of mind. Like, I just can't sit here and do nothing. Like, I need to just review a little bit. I'm about to call my pastor to pray for me, and the last thing that I need to do is like fill up my water bottle. One of the last updates before the test, I feel like I'm not gonna remember anything. I know that's like complete, but that's how I feel. I feel like, oh my gosh, like there's so much information. Like, please, Lord, Holy Spirit, be with me. Like, let it come back to me, because I feel like I haven't really like studied in a long time, even though I just took yesterday and a little bit of the day before that off. So, but for some reason it feels like I haven't like studied in so long, and I'm like, I just hope everything doesn't look foreign. I'm wondering, you know, I've taken a lot of AAMC practice tests. I'm like, is this going to be similar to it? It's going to be a little bit harder. Like, I hope it's going to be easier, but I think I have to just go in with the mindset of like, I'm prepared and I've seen this stuff before. But I don't know, for some reason today I'm kind of just like, I haven't studied enough. No, I've been studying for months, and you guys know this, but that's just like my raw feeling. So I'm going to express how I feel without giving a caveat as to why I shouldn't be feeling that way or whatever. I'm like, I can just see myself watching back and being like, realistically, how I feel in this situation. I feel like even though I literally spent months studying, that I still, even if I covered everything, even though I'm sure that there's things that I didn't cover, I don't know how confidently well I know them in a way that the test takers can write the question, that I'll be able to, oh, you're talking about this, which I studied, which means this. Like, I'm really hoping that I'll be able to connect the dots, because that's my problem. It's not that I don't know the information. It's like I know it, but it doesn't click for me to connect the dots in the way that the questions are asking until somebody explains it to me. I'm like, well, I knew that, but I didn't know that's what they were asking. I didn't know I was supposed to do that so that's what I'm hoping for, is revelation. Like, when I'm looking at the questions, I want to be able to know, like, this is what they're asking me. That's what I'm most nervous about, I think. Let me show you guys my outfit. This is my test taking outfit of the day. I specifically designed it. Oh, my heart is beating so fast. All black everything. So I got this 2-piece set from Pink. just because I love these. I like bought one of these like my senior year of college in maroon, and I wear it all the time. I think it's perfect because it's a jacket, and so it's obviously mid-May, but it's cloudy outside today, so it could be cold in the testing center, so I can keep the jacket on, zip it up. I could put my hood on. Sometimes I like to do that because it makes me feel like I'm in my zone. Or if I want to take it off, then I just have my short sleeve shirt. Again, not trying to plug with Beauty and Brains apparel. I love the v-neck. It doesn't make me feel like I'm choking. And I love the black on the black. It just, you know, is seamless, not too, you know, but also just a reminder to myself that I am Beauty and Brains. So I wore this for myself. And then I am going to be wearing my little fuzzy slides here. I got these for Christmas. My sister got these for me. And I'm basically just wearing these because if it's cold, I want it to be able to wear socks, but sometimes my feet, it's a whole thing. I really thought this through. If it's really hot in there, because I don't know if they're gonna have air conditioning, I want to be able to take off my socks and like low-key like be barefoot, because that's how I'm comfortable. But I obviously need shoes to walk in, and I don't want to wear sneakers because sneakers are too constricting. Like I want my toes to be able to move, because like when I'm stressed and when I'm thinking, like literally my toes do this. So that's a whole nother story. I am going to put my hair up. I'm going to put a little headband on and then put it in a low bun, just because you guys can see when I'm nervous, I'm touching my hair, and I just don't want it to be in my way. So that's my outfit of the day. My shoes are actually on the wrong foot. But this is my testing outfit of the day. You guys, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. Okay, so I'm gonna call my pastor so we can pray, because I need to.
In a good way. Great.
It's at 3. I'm about to walk over in a little bit, but I felt myself getting a little worked up, so I wanted to.
You know, my prayer is what I've been praying. I have been praying for you this week, but my prayer is for just peace of mind. God already knows that prayers to God are about, you know, bringing everything back, you know, all your recollection, everything that you've been absorbing and sponging for all these months. You know, you've put in the work, you've done the time, you've done everything, you know, and so we're praying that He will bring that back, of course, and you will be fresh. But what would make that happen is just peace. I think if you just, you know, have peace. So I'm simply going to pray for peace that passeth all understanding.
Well, you guys, the moment of truth has finally come. I would be lying if I said that I wasn't nervous. My heart is beating out of my chest, but I prepared for this for so long, and I'm so ready. So next time you guys see me, I will be back. I will be lighter, and I will be one more MCAT test down. That's my alarm. I'm gonna start walking over now, and I will let you guys know how it went when I get back. Bye. Take off this daggone mask. I had this mask on for literally 8 hours. I'm free. Oh Lord, I'm free. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm done. Finally done. I can't even really celebrate because it hasn't really hit me yet. know y'all want to know everything, and I want to tell you everything. Just give me a moment to like get my life together. Oh my gosh, like, first of all, where do I even start? Okay, let me just walk through everything. So I wasn't sure how the testing center was going to be. I wasn't sure if it was going to be like really nice and fancy or like really ratchet and ghetto. The director was really snappy. I hate it when people be snappy with me. I'm like, listen, you already know people are very tense, so why aren't you like super kind? And I get it, like if I had to say the same thing all day, every day, over and over and over again, I probably wouldn't be like as nice, but like that's your job. So I just felt like she was just so short and snappy with me, and I'm like, this may be the 100th time you said it today, but this is my first time hearing it. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, say it slowly, say it clearly, look at me when you're talking, that way I know what you're talking about. That's neither here nor there. So I get there, and I don't know why I was like nervous about being late, because I was like, I wonder if I'm not checked in by 3 p.m. if my test is going to start automatically, and that's not what happened. So I really didn't have to go as early as I did. I got there about like 2:35, and I probably started checking in at 2:45. There's maybe like 4 people in front of me, and I don't know if you guys are like this, but I'm really big on numbers. And so, mind you, this hotel room is room 507. 5, obviously, Beauty and Brains 5, and 7, the number of completion. So I was kind of like, okay, I like that number. I like that. And then when I like had to log in or check in, my number was 8. You guys know my mahogany number is 8. So I was like, oh, this is cute. I'm liking where this is going. But I was like, I'm not going to like look at any other numbers, because I don't want it to be a thing. Like, it's no big deal. If I'm going to do well, I'm going to do well. It doesn't matter what number I sit at or whatever. So anyway, I check in, I give her my ID. So first of all, I completely forgot to mentally prepare myself to take this test during COVID. There were definitely a lot of things, like you literally yelled at people if they walked into the testing center without using the hand sanitizer machine. I was like, I get it, but also like, let's be calm. And then I took off my mask. I didn't even take, I like, went like this with my mask to drink my water. And she was like, if you're gonna drink, you have to leave the bit. I was like, oh my goodness. Like, I didn't mentally prepare myself. I should have used the bathroom before I went in there. I should have taken a drink of water. I should have found the bathroom, first of all. We'll talk about that later. Should have found the bathroom, used it, drank my water, and then like moseyed on up there. But I think I was kind of just like, I don't know where to go, I don't know where to go, I don't know where to go. That I was just kind of like, and then it was test time. I think I may have taken a picture the first time I took my MCAT. If you guys didn't know, again, I'm going to give not only a better thought out rundown of my entire MCAT experience, but of course everything in my mindset leading up to it, coming soon. If you know, you know. I hope this turns out how it's supposed to. If so, later on this week, you'll hear everything. That'll give you a better idea of my experience, especially with this being my second time taking the MCAT. But if you don't know, I did take it in 2017. Yes, my junior year of college, I took it. Kind of like the normal time, but I wasn't ready whatsoever. Anyway, this time, obviously with COVID going on, that was in Atlanta. This is here in DC. So a lot of differences. I did also walk to the Atlanta location. It's crazy because it was like down the street from my apartment. So that was really easy. I just walked there and I had the same lunch, but everything else is basically different. I remember the ladies at the MCAT place in Atlanta being like so nice and giggly and like, but they definitely were more, I guess, again, because of COVID, they were more touchy-feely. So like touching my hood, inside of my Uggs, touching inside of my pockets. And I remember just being like, you guys were like touching me too much. And I remember them saying like, maybe I have to take off my ring. I can't remember anything else, but just definitely felt a little bit more like, they were nice, but they were like really, invading my personal space. Whereas this time, and I can't remember if I took a picture or not, but I guess I possibly did. And I also remember having to do like a fingerprint every time I went in and out. This time they had like a hand scan, which was different. And I kind of had to do the touching myself. Which I prefer a lot better. So there was like 2 checkpoints. There was the person when you first got in and she like took the phone and paid attention, like checked people in, and she monitored people when they went out for their breaks and things. And then there was the guy who monitored the actual room and you going in and out of the room. And all I had to do was show my ID to go in and out of the room, which was great. I was nervous that there was going to be a line, but there wasn't. I mean, I guess because the way that she like checked people in, we were staggered. So for the most part, there was never more than like 2-3 people like out and about at a time. So whenever I was done with my section, I took all my breaks. I was the last one. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I took all of my breaks. Let me rewind a little bit. I do my hand, I sign, I take a picture. I put my stuff in my locker. I go show my ID to the second check person, which was him. He was very nice and friendly. So he sits me at my seat, and everything was definitely like, you could tell it was cleaned off. They had like ear protectors for the headphones, which was great because I didn't even think about that. Obviously I had to wear my mask the whole time. One thing that I didn't practice with, but I had no problems with, which I knew this, is that like the MCAT, again, when I took my test the first time, I believe they gave us like scrap paper and you had to bring your own pencil, and it had to be like a number 2 pencil, and it couldn't be like lead, like who cares? But this time, and I knew this was a thing, they have like, I don't know what they're called, like non-erasable marker pads. They're like markers, and then like a whiteboard that's like a paper, and it has a whole bunch of different pages to it, and you can buy similar ones on Amazon. And I thought about it. I was like, oh, I'll just do it so that way I'm ready for my practice test. And I could have, but I just never ended up doing it. And I ended up just using scratch paper every time. And this time it was my first time actually using that thing, and I didn't have any problems with it. So if you want to practice with it, you can. But if you just want to use scratch paper when you're doing your practice test at home, I would say like that's fine too, because you just can't erase, like that's the only thing, but you have so many more pages, so it really doesn't matter. He gave me that. He gave me, like I said, things for my ears. I had the key for my locker. I had my ID on me. She made one person take off their jacket, and I got so nervous. I was like, because it was hot when I got there, and I was thinking to myself, oh, I'll probably take off my jacket when I get inside, but I'm keeping my jacket on. Like, I'm only taking off if I feel like it. And I don't know what her reasoning was, but she made somebody take theirs off, and she let everybody else keep theirs on. And it literally was a zip-up jacket. I don't know, it was weird. And he was definitely taking the same test as us, because there was definitely people taking other tests. I don't know, but I got to keep my jacket on. And like I said, it started off warm, and it ended up being freezing. It was so weird. I was like, it was kind of hot in here. They must not have AC. But I'd rather be hot than cold. And I don't know if it was between that or the fact that I was drinking like ice cold water, and my desk was cold. So like as I was like leaning on it, I was like shivering by my last section. Everything, it went smoothly. Like I had no complications, no problems. I did ask like if I could put my hood on, because I'm so weird. I like to take my test like this. Sometimes I'm so dramatic, because it just makes me feel more like in the zone, like nobody's looking at me, even though nobody could see me, but it just made me feel more like this. And the guy said it was fine, but then again, the director, the woman, came out and was like, take your hood off. And I was like, I got kind of scared, because I thought she was gonna tell me like I couldn't take my test or something. And I was like, girl, leave me alone. It's cold. This was like after lunch. I ended up putting my hood on. But yes, so my section was 15A, and I was right by the door, and I was like, no, because I'm gonna keep hearing the door open and close, which I did, but it wasn't that bad. I think overall the testing center was really quiet, and I was even nervous about taking it like in the city, instead of, I was thinking, oh, if I drive to Bethesda or Virginia, like it's gonna be quiet. But like, maybe you guys didn't hear it when I was vlogging, but you know, there's like sirens and stuff. Like, we're in the middle of the city, but you couldn't hear anything when you were in there, which was great. I think those are all of the logistics. Okay, now let's get into how I felt about each section of the test. So obviously we start off with Chem Phys. I'm not gonna lie, I ain't like that one. I got a lot of questions about like, there was like an isotope passage, and it was just like I couldn't get my groove. Like sometimes I'm taking it and I'm like, ooh, I don't know what this is, but sometimes I'm like, yeah. And I was kind of like like for each section I was kind of like, I was waiting for a passage to come where I was like, all right, boom, let's go, bet. The first passage was about magnets, and that was like one of the last things that I studied, so I felt good about that. There was this one question, I know I'm not really supposed to be talking about questions, but like there was this one question that literally I have not seen. It was a physics question, and it was a discrete. I have not seen since college. Like that was the type of physics we did in college, which was not the type of physics that I ended up learning was on the MCAT, and yet it ended up being on my MCAT. And like there was a lot of questions about circuits that I was like, ooh, I'm not so strong with circuits. So yeah, if I had to guess, I would probably say normally biochem is my weakest section, ironically, because I'm literally a master of physiology and a bio major, but I don't know what it is. Bio usually gets me, and chem phys is usually second, but I feel like chem phys is going to be my worst section. So yeah, that's basically how that went. And I did so great on timing. Like this is the best I've ever done timing before. I didn't run out of time for any section. I finished all the questions. Like I usually have to guess on like the last 5. I did so great on section for chem phys, and that had me hyped. I was like, ooh, who is she? So I finished on time. I took my 10-minute break, and that's when I tried to find the bathroom, and I was like, crap, why didn't I think to look for the bathroom before I checked in? And like there was this one girl who checked in, and then she sat down back to kind of like get her bearings, and then the director was like, what are you doing? Go take your test. And she was like, I think she wanted to pray, to be honest, and she was like, oh, I'm just gonna wait until 3 p.m. and she said, you're already checked in, you have to start now. And she's like, I understand you have to be authoritative. I just have a problem sometimes when people come at me a certain way. Sometimes, oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, you can't. Fortunately, you've already checked in. You have to start your exam now. Like, there's just ways that you can say things. But, so that kind of made me afraid, because I was like, crap, I didn't think that I would have to, like, I thought that I could, like, choose, okay, I'm going to start my exam now. But I really couldn't. It was like, once I walked in, however the timing went, that's how it went. So I didn't get to find the bathroom. I didn't think to check before I walked in. So I come out and I'm like, okay, I have 10 minutes. It didn't take me long to check out, but it took me like 2 minutes to find the bathroom. And I was so mad because the boys' bathroom was literally right there, and the girls' bathroom was like around the hall, around the corner. And the way that it was set up, it was like a weird, like this, I guess. It was kind of like 2 squares, and I low-key got lost. So I found the bathroom, I used the bathroom, I drank a little bit of water, put on some lip balm, and then I was like, it's Cars time, baby, it's Cars time, and Cars is my baby, okay? Now I'm not gonna lie, I didn't love this Cars. Like, honestly, I can never tell. Like, sometimes I'm like, I did that for Cars, and I look at my score, and I'm like, yee. But I usually have out of all of them, I have the best grasp when it comes to Cars. So I'm either like, there's a couple passages where I killed it. I think that there are definitely a few passages that I did really well on. Honestly, I can't remember. I'm trying to think, but I think I did okay in Cars. I think there was maybe only one passage that I was kind of like, what are you talking about? Okay, let's get to it. Like, and even the questions were a little bit off. Maybe one passage, maybe 2. I really can't remember. It sucks that I was thinking about this while I was taking the test. It soothes me to be able to look at the answers afterwards. First of all, to know what score you got afterwards. I have to wait a whole month to know. Just be able to look back and say, oh, I flagged this question. It's okay that I got it wrong. And I spent 2 minutes on it. I was definitely struggling, so I got it wrong, and that makes sense. But I will not know, like, what the reasoning behind, I won't even remember what the daggone passages were about. I'm literally just gonna get a score and have to think, like, how did I feel like I did on Cars? So if I were to rate my Cars, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'll probably journal it. Not my best, but definitely not my worst. I would say maybe, like, I would rate myself like a 7.7 out of 10. Like, I think I did pretty okay. Like, I didn't bomb it. Like, I've had times where I've done a Cars section and I'm like, just stop it. Like, just stop and restart, or we'll do this again tomorrow, because I just couldn't focus. But I did really great on timing too. really great on timing. So I was really able to take my breath. And like sometimes I do my timing where I end up getting it done, but I'll do a couple of passages a little bit fast. This time, every passage was a really good like 9 minutes and 30 seconds, 9 minutes 30. Like it was really like on it. So I had a little bit of time at the end, and I was able to take deep breaths in between and reset. And between passages 4 and 5, I normally like to take an even deeper breath because I get kind of like, okay. And so yeah, I was able to do that. So I was happy about that. And then it was lunchtime, and I just could not eat. Like I was waiting for that sandwich too. I was like, oh, I can't wait for that sandwich. And I brought a footlong. I only eat half of it. I probably ate, I guess, a third of my half a sandwich, which is very shocking for me because I can literally finish a whole footlong and still be hungry. But for some reason, I don't know if it was because I was cold. I was just sitting there in that room and I was just like, but personally, I wanted to take all of my break. Like I really was paying attention at the clock when I left, making sure that I was giving myself enough time. All the clocks were also different, and that bugged me because I would leave the testing center. I'm like, okay, it's 5:20, so I need to be back by 5:30, something like that. But then I would get into the room and I'm like, okay, this clock is 5:25, so I was just getting off, and I didn't like that. But of course, everything was fine. I ended up figuring it out. I'm a smart girl. So lunch went great. I did end up taking more sips of my Celsius. I didn't finish it. It's probably about like, I don't know, maybe a half, almost like 3/4 empty now. So yeah, I definitely didn't feel tired at any point. And I did feel a little bit of nervousness at the end of cars leading up to lunch, which was weird because why am I nervous about lunch? I don't know what I was nervous about. And it wasn't like a super like anxious thing, but like after I prayed and I calmed myself down, like I didn't have any butterflies. But while I was finishing out cars, like my last couple of questions, and I don't know why I was nervous, but I was. Once I finished my break and I went and I checked back in and I sat down, he started the exam for me. So I didn't have, like, let's just say I had a 10-minute break and I took 5 of it and I came back for 5. I wouldn't have 5 minutes to sit in my chair, which is what I wanted to do. Like I wanted to sit in my chair and like breathe for 5 minutes. But I think I took 5 minutes and I came back, and when he started it didn't start right away, but it gave me 2 minutes to start. Like it was a countdown for 2 minutes. And I'm like, at first I was like, oh, okay, I got back right at the perfect time. I have 2 minutes. But then the second time I was like, oh, I think it does 2 minutes whenever he starts it, as long as I'm back before my test, which I don't prefer. Because I'm like, if you want to take your full time, you have to stay outside of the room. But I wanted to sit in my chair. I guess it doesn't matter that much. I came back, and then it was biochem, and I had to hype myself up for biochem because, like I said, that's usually the section that I don't do the best in. I have the most experience in it, but I was feeling biochem, y'all. That had me feeling good, okay? I was like, okay, like a lot of stuff that I was like just recently studying, like it was showing up, and I was like, yes, everything was looking familiar. The passages were making sense. The questions were making sense. I was like, this feels good. Like this, I've never had a biochem section where I was like, I know what you're talking about. Like chem phys, I was like, what's happening? Cars, I was like, you had me the first half. Biochem, I was like, I was feeling it. So I don't want to hype myself up too much, but I definitely feel like I did pretty okay on biochem. So after biochem, and then I had enough time, I took my 10-minute break again. Same thing, water, Vaseline on my lips, and then I think I had to use the bathroom again. By that point, I literally was in the bathroom like dancing for Psych Soc. I hope you guys know the section that I'm talking about. Definitely watch my video where I broke down like the entire MCAT exam. So the 4 sections, chemistry and physics, and then CARS, which is critical analysis and reasoning skills. And then there is biology and biochemistry. And the last one is psychology and sociology. So that one I always score the highest on. Last practice test, I actually scored my goal score. So I just kept saying in my head, like, you can do this, you can do this. Like, you have it in you to score well. Just take your time and think it through. Like, I can get the psych section done fast, but if I take the whole hour and 30 minutes, that's when I score the best. So I was like, I'm gonna take my time. And I don't know if it's because I took all my time, but y'all, I was the last person in there. It got to the point I literally took off my headphones, and it had to have been for like an hour. I don't know how like, there were people, maybe I was the last MCAT person to walk in. I'm not sure. I know that there was definitely people who came in after me, but I don't remember anybody else saying that they were MCAT after me. So maybe I was the last person to log in. And like I said, I took all of my breaks. But there was a whole hour left in my psych soc section. And I looked around and I was like, I'm the last person up in here. What the heck? Now, I'm mad about psych soc because it was hard. Like, psych soc is supposed to be the easy one where things just click. The passages weren't really lining up with the questions. There was a lot of things that I was kind of like, where was Karl Marx? He was not on my exam one time. Fundamental attribution, not one time. Like, the things that have been on every single practice test, nowhere to be found. And like some things where I was like, I've never seen this on a test before. Like, I feel like that's why I do so well in psych soc, is because just with practice, you just start seeing the same theories over and over again. And if you ain't got it by now, you ain't gonna get it. So it's like, they just pulled out of a whole new bag for these. I'm hoping I still did well. I mean, a lot of psych is also just like kind of common sense, but sometimes when it comes to like definitions, or they'll put certain words together and things will kind of make sense. So it's like, it's easier when you just know. If you know the theory, it's very easy to point out this is exactly what you're talking about. But it's harder when you're like, this is what this theory sounds like, so maybe it's this one. But if you don't really know, like, you could be right, you could be wrong. And I had a lot of questions that had to do with the different stages, which I wish I just would have reviewed one more time before I went in there. I haven't reviewed those in a while because I think I just got a little bit too comfortable. So the PGA stages, why are they're all leaving my mind. What are the different the different age stages? If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I had maybe like 4 different age questions, and I was thinking to myself, like, crap, I wish I would have just looked over that one more time to have been sure. Like, I knew, and I just went with my gut, but I wish I was more sure. I'd studied that a lot in the beginning, and so I felt a little bit confident on it, and then I think that I got too confident, and I forgot to look over that before today. And like I said, I ended up having, like, normally I go through every section, I flag stuff, but I normally would flag things to know when I'm reviewing them, you had problems with this, you took a really long time. This time, specifically for cars, I only flagged if I was gonna go back at the end of that passage. After I'm done that passage, I don't go back. Like, I'm not gonna remember what I read because there's just too many passages personally. I will flag biochem, MPhys, but I don't think I went back to a lot of my flagged questions because I just didn't have enough time. But for psych soc, and this was the first time I did this, it got to a point where I was like, I was stuck on some questions, and I was like, this is taking me too long. I actually need to just put something down, but I want to actually like come back to it when I feel like I have more time. And I think that I had maybe, I should have counted, I would say maybe 12 or 15 that I flagged that like had me stumped, or that I was just unsure about. And then after I finished all of them, just to make sure that I had enough time, I went back to like re-look at those questions with a more careful eye. Like I said, some people may do that every time, but I personally don't, because I don't like to second guess myself and change my answers. But these were questions that I was really like stumped on, and that took me all the way up until the end of my time. So I took every single second of my test I took, and I felt so bad because like the guy was like cleaning the other section, and I was like, I'm not gonna he wasn't rushing me at all, but I didn't want to even just like let the thought of, oh gosh, I'm like holding him up. I'm like, it's 10 p.m. on a Friday. He definitely wants to go home and not be at work. I'm surprised that they didn't have people come in for shifts. I hope that they got there right before we got there, because I'm like, dang, a shift from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. on a Friday? That sucks. Anyway, that's it, y'all. I am officially done. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Like I said, it really hasn't hit me yet. I'm being excited just because I feel like I should be excited, but I don't really feel like I'm excited because it hasn't really hit me yet. I think it's not gonna hit me until I realize how much free time I have because I don't have to study, or maybe this weekend when I go to Atlanta, or next week when I'm in Mexico. Oh, and let's talk about how I'm downloading Instagram tomorrow. That is a whole nother thing in itself. That's gonna be interesting. I'm actually like not excited to go back, but it's time. I've been hiding for long enough. So now I'm gonna enjoy my hotel room. I'm gonna order some Uber Eats. I really, and it wasn't necessarily the best thing to do, but I definitely isolated myself during this time because I just wanted no distractions. I didn't want anything to be in the way of my success, of my greatness. And there were so many things that did get in the way, whether it be my mind, my confidence, my schedule, my job, everything got in the way. And so I got rid of literally everything. But even little things like social media, like my streaming subscriptions, I have not watched Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus. Like the last thing that I watched on Netflix was The Social Dilemma, and that was at the beginning of New Year's. And I watched Soul on Christmas. Like, I want to watch TV all night long. I love TV. I want to watch The Resident. I just want to watch TV all day. And the next step for me, the application has already opened. It opened on May 3rd, and I've sent out my letter recommendation request. Okay, I've been talking for so long. My camera cut off on me. I have sent out my letter of recommendation request for 5 different people. I've heard back from 4 of them so far, which is good enough. That's really all I need, but I just wanted to cover all of my bases. Minimum, I will have 4 letters of recommendation. See, this is what I was nervous about during my test, but it didn't happen, so I'm good. Anyway, and I'll need to be finishing up my personal statement and just getting the activities and all of the things together for my application. Let me know what kind of application process update videos you guys want from me between now and acceptance. Obviously, like when I get an interview, especially if it's in person, I'll definitely like vlog that experience, but there's so much in between now and then. Let me know what kind of update videos you guys would like to see. Yes, I'm excited to finally dedicate my time to my application because I definitely have been neglecting it so that I could focus on my MCAT. But now that that's done and out of the way, we can move on to the next step. This long journey is finally over. When I did have like my 2 minutes to sit at my desk before the timer started for each section, on my little whiteboard, I wrote down some of the verses that I've been repeating and chanting to myself during this period. Again, later on, I'll talk about all of the different things that I did to just stay sane and remain hopeful and all of those things during this time. But as you guys can see, like, obviously, faith is a really big part of my life and impacted me so much that it has also impacted my faith. And that's why you see me praying so much. I mean, because I need God to be with me. I needed him during this entire process. Like, I needed the Holy Spirit covering me, walking with me, going before me, and I definitely just want to share that journey with you guys more. So it has been a process for sure, but I've just tried to focus on progress over perfection. And I'm just so glad to have finally made it to the end of this, because it just felt like I was in the middle for a really long time. Like, it felt like this day was never going to come. And now it's here, and I'm going to relish in it, enjoy it. I've been literally waiting for this day forever. Like there were some times where I was taking my test and I was kind of like, I'm taking my MCAT because I still can't believe that I did that. Again, I really think it's me pushing my exam test back so many times. And I just pray that God will bless me with a score that will get me into medical school, whatever that score needs to be. He knows. He's in charge. I trust in him. I will believe in him. I will not worry about tomorrow. I'm worrying about today. I'm focusing on the blessings and the promises of today and not tomorrow. I'm letting him worry about that. Just like how I've casted out all of my anxieties and stress on him, because hello, his burden is light, and I took my heavy burden and I gave it to him, and now I'm going to relish in this weight being lifted off of me. I didn't get to mention this earlier due to my MCAT brain, but I definitely want to thank Kayla Livingston for sponsoring this video. No, but she low-key did sponsor my hotel stay here. Let me tell you guys, okay, something that I kept saying to myself during this time was that there were more people for me than against me. And Kayla Livingston is one of my subscribers. She reached out to me. This had to have been maybe February, like it was before my March test date, and she literally was like, I know that you were stressed out about having to test in DC because I originally didn't want to test here, and she said that I'm going to pay for your hotel stay, that way you can stay in the city and have a whole like relaxing weekend and you don't have to stress about it too much. She said that somebody did it for her and that she just wanted to pay it forward for me, and she thanked me for my content. And that was months ago, but I cried. Like I was like, that is so nice. Like the fact that somebody thought about me and my experience and my situation, and not only was like, I'm thinking of you, but literally cashed at me money to pay for my hotel room. I would be remiss if I did not thank her, because we're here, sis. So this is where your money went to. This is the hotel. If I didn't mention it, I'm staying at the Phoenix Park Hotel. It's right across from the Stamps Smithsonian, something like that. Like I said, it was 1 block away from my testing center. If anybody here ever tests at the 601 East New Jersey Pearson Testing Center, I do recommend this hotel. It was pretty great. So yes, thank you again, Kayla. I really appreciate it. And just to everybody, I really appreciate those of you all who are not only invested in my experience, but who genuinely are for me. It helps me throughout this time to remember that there were more people for me than against me. So thank you to Kayla, and thank you to all of you guys.